Hi everyone. Today we are going to be looking at question 13 of the Wassce 2010 May-June General Mathematics past question. But before we dive into the solution, I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to click on the bell to turn on your notification so you don't miss any of our videos, as we are going to be uploading videos every day and you don't want to miss it. Okay, also when you subscribe, that will give us more motivation to be able to make more videos for you guys, because your success is our concern. So when you subscribe, that tells us that we have a lot of people like you that value what we are doing and we can do more of it. Okay, all right, go ahead and click the subscription button right there and click on the notification bell. Okay, now let's go back to this question. The question says the third term of a geometric progression, which we call GP, is 24, and its seventh term is 4 whole number 20 over 27. Find its first term. Okay, the first thing you want to realize here is that this is a geometric progression, or a GP. Okay, this is not an arithmetic progression but a geometric progression. So the first thing you want to do right here is, if you take note of this question, you are not given common ratio, neither were you given first term. You are asked to find the first term. Okay, so you need to first of all write out the formula for the nth term of a geometric progression, which is AR raised to the power of n minus 1. Okay, where the A is the first term. A is the first term, okay, and the R is the common ratio. R is the common ratio. Okay, Tn, T subscript n, is the nth term. Okay, is the nth term. Okay, so now since we have Tn equals to AR raised to power n minus 1, okay, now the first question says the third term. So I'm going to have the third term is T3 equals, they said the third term of an arithmetic progression is 24. So T3 equals to 24. Very good, very good. Now if I have this, okay, I will stop here first and then I will use this to form an equation first. Okay, now T3 equals, from this formula that we have right here, if you have Tn, it's going to give you AR raised to power, this n is going to be minus 1. Okay, so let us use the same approach right here. T3. So what is the formula for T3? It's going to be AR. You see, you have n right here, so you bring n here. So you have 3 here, so you bring 3 here. That is what it means. Then it says minus 1. So we are using this formula right here to carve out this. Okay, now in this case, what do you have? AR 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have AR raised to the power of 2. Very good, very good. AR raised to the power of 2. So that means T3, which is AR raised to the power of 2, equals, what did we say T3 is? We said the T3 is 24. So that means AR raised to the power of 2 equals to 24. Very good, guys. I will call this equation 1. I can call this equation 1. Okay, very good. Now the question goes further by saying and the seventh term is 4 whole number 2 over 27. Seventh term is 4 whole number 20 over 27. We are going to use the same approach right here for n term. We are going to say seventh term, T7, that's going to be AR. So now when we add Tn here, we put the n right here, right? So now this is T7, so you put 7 right here, minus what? Minus 1. You put the 1 right there, okay? So that means this is going to be AR 7 minus 1 is 6. Very good. So that means the seventh term is equal to AR raised to the power of 6. Very good, guys. Very good. But take note, you have been told that the seventh term is 4 whole number 20 over 27. 4 whole number 20 over 27. Okay, so that means that since this is the seventh term, AR raised to the power 6, it means that AR raised to the power of 6 will be equals to 4 whole number 20 over 27. Very good, guys. And then I can simplify, or I can convert the mixed fraction rather to an improper fraction. 4 times 27, that will give you 108. 108 plus 20 will give you 128. So I have 128 over 27. Very good. Then I can call this equation 2. I can call this equation 2. Very good, guys. So now I have equation 1 right here, okay, and I also have equation 2 right here. Very good, guys. Now if you also take note, the question asks to find the first term. We are asked to find the first term right here, okay. Now since we are asked to find the first term and we don't know the common ratio, and also sorry, this is ratio right here, common ratio, we don't know the common ratio, we also don't know the first term, right? So that's going to be a simultaneous equation, right? Two unknowns. So now I have AR squared equals to 24, and also AR raised to the power 6 equals to 128 over 27. So if you want to solve this question, what you're going to do is to divide equation 2 by equation 1. It's going to be easier that way. You're going to use the one that has more common ratio. You're going to use that to divide. It's going to be divided by the one that has a lower common ratio. The one that has higher common ratio, that's R raised to the power 6, that's equation 2, divided by the one that has a lower common ratio. That will make your solution easier, okay? So that means in that case, I can come here and I can say that, let me bring it right here. I can say divide equation 2 by equation 1, okay? What is equation 2? Equation 2 is A R raised to the power 6 equals to 128, okay, over 27, okay? That is what you have, okay? Divided by equation 1 is AR raised to the power 2, okay? Divided, so for you to solve this pretty easy, you can say divided by, what do you have? 24 divided by 24. That will make life easy for you, okay? Take note, equation 2 is AR raised to the power of 6, okay, equals to 128 over 27. That's equation 2. Remember, we are dividing equation 2 by equation 1. So divided by equation 1 is AR raised to the power of 2, okay. Also, this one, 128 over 27 divided by 24. I hope you get that. So we are dividing equation 2 by equation 1, okay. Now, how do I go ahead? How do I go about doing this right now? If you look at this A is going to cancel this A, okay. That's going to cancel that, okay. Also, you have 6 hours right here divided by 2 hours. Definitely is going to remain 4 hours. But how do we do that? If you remember your indices, if you have r raised to the power of 6 divided by r raised to the power of 2, that's going to become, you can have r raised to the power of 6. I can have something like this divided by r raised to the power of 2. Let me rewrite that for you so you see what I'm talking about. Over 27, okay. I can change this division to times, and then if I do that, I'm going to flip this one. As you know, 24 over 1 means 24 means 24 over 1, right? So if I flip it, it's going to become 1 over 24, okay. Now let's go ahead. Now if you remember your second law of indices, the division law, okay, these have the same base, right? And this is division, so it's going to become 6 minus 2, okay. It's going to become 6 minus 2. And then if I want to divide this, I can divide, because 8 can go in 24. That's going to give me 3, okay. That's going to give me 3. Now 8 can divide 128, and that's going to give me 16, okay. So that means I can have 16 times 1 is 16 over 27 times 3 is 21, okay. Very good, guys. Let's go ahead to simplify this further. This is now r raised to the power of 6 minus 2, that is 4. That is very good. R raised to the power of 4 equals to 16 over 21. Very good, very good. Now if you have such equation as this is r raised to the power of 4, okay. Now how do you take away this power of 4? This is when you can find the fourth root of r of both sides. You can find the fourth root of both sides, okay. If you want to use indices, also exponential equation of function, you can also do that, okay. So I can say take fourth root of both sides, okay. I'll flip to this side of the page. So now I'm going to, if I take fourth root of r raised to the power of 4, the essence we are taking that is to cancel that 4. All right, so that's going to be r now, right? Because fourth root of r raised to the power of 4 is going to give you r, okay? And then we have fourth root of 16 over 81. Very good, very good. Fourth root of 16 over 81. Okay, now what is the fourth root of 16? That will give me 2 over what is the fourth root of 81? That will give me 3. If you say fourth root of 16, it means what number are you going to multiply by itself 4 times to give you 16? That's going to be 2. What number can you multiply by itself 4 times to give you 81? That is going to give you 3. So that means fourth root of 16 is 2, while the fourth root of 81 is 3. the fourth root of r raised to power 4, okay, is going to give you r. So that means my r, which is the common ratio, is what? Is 2 over 3. Very good, guys. I hope you understand that. That is so easy, okay? Just look at the solutions again and make sure you understand what we are talking about. Take your time, okay? But also remember that the question did not ask us to find the common ratio. The question says find the first term. Find the first term. But the thing is, before you can find the first term, you need to find the common ratio, right? Now we've gotten the common ratio. Let us get the first term, okay? Now what you can do right here is, remember we have two equations. We have equation 1, equation 2, right? So what you have to do now is to substitute that value you got for common ratio into one of these equations, either equation 1 or equation 2, so as to get the first term, okay? It's always advisable to use the easier equation. This is ar raised to power 2. This is easier, okay? So let us use equation 1, okay? So I would say substitute 2 over 3 for r in equation 1. So you go back to your equation 1. What is equation 1? ar squared equals to 24. ar squared equals to 24. So I'll have ar squared equals to 24. Very good, guys. Okay, and ar squared mean a times r squared, okay? So now I have a times, now what is my r? Remember we got the r here to be 2 over 3. So I'll say 2 over 3, okay? But take note, you have a square here. Do not forget that. Do not forget that the square goes on top of both, okay? That is equals to 24. Very good, guys. Very good, guys. Stay with me, guys. We're almost there. Stay with me. So now we have a times, now let us open this bracket. 2 square is going to give you 4, okay? 3 square also is going to give you 9. So this is equal to 24, okay? So what we have right here is 8 times 4 is 4a over 9 equals to 24. Now it's going to be 24 over 1, right? So in this case, we can cross multiply right now. So this can go right here, okay? So that means I can have 4a equals 9 times 24. Very good, very good. Now take note, we are trying to get a, right? Because we are trying to get a, we need to undo this 4 right here, because this is 4a. So how do we undo the 4? We need to divide both sides, right, by what? By 4. So that means I'm going to have 4a over 4, okay, equals 9 times 24 over 4. Very good, guys. Are you there? So this 4 cancels this 4 right there. We are almost there, guys. Okay, so now what do we have? We have a remaining. A equals 4 here 1, 4 in 24 is 6. Very good. Now what do we have left? 9 times 6. That is going to give us 54. And remember what we said from the beginning when we wrote the equation. We said that where a is the first term, okay, a is the first term, and the question says find its first term, okay? So that means that our A, which is equals to 54, is the first term. I can conclude by saying my first term is 54. Very good, guys. Interesting. I hope you all understand this concept or even this solution right here. Okay, let us take a look at the question B of this question. Now, this question says, given that y varies directly as x and inversely as the square of y of z, find y equals to 4 when x equals 3 and z equals 1. So if y equals 4 when x equals 3 and z equals 1. Find y when x equals 3 and z equals to 2. Now, this question is under the topic that we call variation. So now this is the type of a joint variation. This is combining direct variation and inverse variation. Okay, let us see how to solve such problem. Okay, given that y varies directly as x, y varies directly as x, okay, and inversely as the square of z. That means, and y also varies inversely. That means 1 over, okay, take note, this one, y varies directly as x. Y varies directly as x, okay. This one says y, and y varies inversely. Inversely is 1 over, okay, square of z. Square of z. That's z square. Okay. Square of z. That's z square. Okay. Now that we already have this, so now what you can do is to combine these two together. Okay. So it means that y varies directly as x. Also, it varies inversely as the square of z. Okay, square of z. Okay, so now what do we do right here? So we can bring both together. We can say y equals x and 1 right here. X times 1 is going to give you x. So that means y varies directly as x and then inversely as z square. So that is what this expression is saying. So we have been able to combine both the direct variation, which is y varies directly as x, and also with the inverse, which is inverse as the square of z. Okay, now when you have this, the first thing you want to do is to take away this sign of proportionality. So when you do that, you have to introduce a constant. So I will say y equals, because I'm taking away sign of proportionality, I change it to equals to, and then I'll put a constant. Let me use my constant to be k. I'll use my constant to be k. So that's k x over z squared. Take note, my constant is at the top. Take note, it is at the top. Okay, so I can say where k is a constant. Where k is a constant. Okay, take note of that, where k is a constant. So now let us solve the problem. So this, we already have this right here. This will go a long way in guiding us to get the right answer. Okay, now is y equals to kx over z squared. Now the question says, we'll continue with the question. It says if y equals to 4, take note what we have right here is y equals kx over z squared, right? So now it says if y equals to 4, if y equals to 4, put it right there. Okay, now equals to k, okay, when x equals to 3, that means I have k, right? And I have x is 3. You know, this is kx. It means k times x, right? Now you've been told that x equals to 3. So that means k times 3 is 3k. So that's going to be 3k over, you have been told that your z is 1. So I'm going to have 1 squared. Okay? Take note of that again. Remember, this was what we arrived at as when we said y, when we changed the sign of proportionality, because we had already said y is directly proportional to x and inversely proportional to z squared, right? We took away the sign of proportionality, we put equal to, and then we put a constant. That's kx, k times x, right? Now you have been told that if y equals to 4, that means this y equals to 4, equals, when x equals to 3, this x is 3, that means 3 times k, 3k, okay, over z equals to 1. This is z. I'm going to put z equals to 1, and then I have a square. I put the square right there. Okay, guys, I hope you understand that. Now let's move ahead. So what do we have right now? This is going to give us k 4 equals 3k over, what is 1 squared? 1 squared is 1. So I'll put 1 right there. Okay. Now, ordinary 4 means 4 over 1, right? So what will I do right here? I can cross multiply. Cross multiply. Okay. 1 times 3k is 3k. Okay. Equals 1 times 4 is 4. Very good. Now, the first thing you have to do is to find your k first before we go to the remaining part of the question. So now, how do we find k here? This is 3k. You need to undo this 3. So you divide both sides by 3. So 3 cancel 3. So now k equals to 4 over 3. Very good. K equals to 4 over 3. I love that. I love that. Now let us go to the last part of the question. Now the last part of the question says, find y when x equals to 3 and z equals to 2. When x equals to 3 and z equals to 2. Okay, so we will come here and we can say that when x equals 3, okay, z equals 2, we have been told to find y. Okay, now the first thing you are going to do is come back to this relation that you have right here. Y equals kx over z squared. Okay, now if you look at this very well, the question asks us to find y, right? We are looking for y. Take notes. We are looking for y. So I will come here and I will say y equals to kx. K, what is our k? Remember, we found the k right here, guys. You remember? So that is 4 times 3. 4 over 3. 4 over 3. Remember, we found k, 4 over 3. Okay. X. What is the x right there? We have x to be 3. So that means 4 times 3. Okay, because this is kx, right? Kx, that means k times x. So k is 4 over 3 times x. X is 3. Okay, over, what is z? Z is 2. That is 2 squared. You see that now? Take note, this is x, this is not times right here. So we have kx over z squared. Okay, what is k? K is 4 over 3. So I have 4 over 3, that is my k, okay, times x, times it, because kx is k times x. K is 4 over 3 times x. X is 3. I put 3 right there. Okay. Over, this is over z squared. What is z? Z is 2. So I put 2 squared. Okay. Take note, just for you not to be confused, I will change this to be, this is to a different color. This is times. Take note, this is times. It is not the same thing as this x right here. Okay, because this is kx, and kx means k times x. Okay, so that is why we said k is 4 over 3 times x equals to 3, okay, over z squared, which is 2 squared. Okay, so now let's go ahead. So this is going to give us 4 over 3, okay, times 3 over, what is 2 squared? 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. Okay, now what do? We can do cancellation right here. 4 here 1, 4 here 1, 3 here 1, 3 here 1. 1 times 1 is 1 over 1 times 1 is 1. So the answer is 1. Very good, guys. So that means my y, is equals to 1. Very good, guys. I hope you guys understand this question. We have been able to find y when x equals to 3 and z equals to 2. Okay, again, I will encourage you guys to subscribe to our channel and also to click on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. So you'll be one of those that will receive the message whenever we drop a new video, as we plan to drop new video each day. Okay, and it is when you guys subscribe that we also will be motivated to drop more videos for you. Okay, and we are actually we want you guys to succeed. You know, your success is our own utmost priority. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next class.